So we're back again with another video, and it's going to be another one of them videos where we do the best so-and-so at each championship club, and this time it's best under 23 player at each championship club. So starting off with Barnsley, we've gone with Connor Chaplin, obviously 23 years of age now, so obviously just about fits into that under 23 category. I think he's a really good player, can score goals, create chances, pops up in vital moments. So yeah, we've put Connor Chaplin as Barnsley's best under 23 player, but now on to the next one.
Yeah, next is Birmingham, and obviously one of their younger players is Jude Bellingham. Obviously he's a great upcoming player. He's only 16 years old as well, which is very young for a good player in him. And I think Man United are actually after him at some point. And yeah, I know a lot of clubs could be after him possibly this summer. And yeah, he's a good prospect for Birmingham. So yeah, that's Birmingham sorted.
Yeah, it's just mad really. Same age as us, and he scored on his winner on his debut against Stoke, and also scored against Leeds. But now on to Blackburn Rovers, and we've gone for Tosin Adarabioyo, the loanee from Manchester City. He's currently 22 years of age. He's playing at centre back, really tall, strong centre back, and I think he could be a leader for the future and possibly make it into Manchester City's starting team. So for that reason, Tosin Adarabioyo is Blackburn Rovers' best under 23 player.
And next is Brentford's younger player, Brian Mbeumo. He's currently 20 years old, and you know Brentford have been a class team in the season. For me, they've been probably the best in the Championship, bar West Brom in my opinion. They've really improved as a team. They've got a great manager, and yeah, I think Mbeumo has really helped that front three a lot. He's played some key roles, got a lot of goals, got a lot of assists, and he's a really key player in the team. So yeah, that's Brentford.
Yeah, so now on to Bristol City. We've gone with Noah Masengo, obviously 18 years of age.
What a name.
I believe he's on loan from a Premier League club. I'm not sure who, but he's a very good player from what I've seen. Could be a starter in the Premier League in years to come, and he's got a bright future ahead. So Bristol's best under 23 player goes to Noah Masengo.
Yeah, so next is Charlton. And one of the younger players is Andre Green. If I'm not mistaken, I think he possibly played for Aston Villa. And yeah, he's at Charlton now, and yeah, he's been a decent player for them. I feel like he wants to try and help the team a lot, even though he's so young. And yeah, I think Charlton will try and push on next year, try and get better. And I think Andre Green is a great player to help the team. So yeah, that's him.
So now on to Cardiff. Really struggled for this one. They've got a really old squad. I believe they got one of the oldest squads in the league, but it was a struggle to find the best under 23 player. But I've gone with Dion Sanderson. Apparently he's meant to be a good player, up and coming for the future. Don't really know much about him. I can't really say much. But yeah, he's 20 years old, and we put him as Cardiff's best player under the age of 23. But now on to the next one.
So next is Jayden Bogle for Derby. He's 19 years old, and I think especially on last season when Derby obviously got to the playoff final and unfortunately got knocked out by Aston Villa, I think he played a key part in them getting there. I think he's an up and coming fullback, and you know he gets a few assists, comes up with a goal here and there, and then I think he's just a really talented player, and only for 19 as well. I think he's really good for that age. So yeah, that's Derby's youngest player.
Yep, so now on to Fulham. We've gone for their keeper. I think in my opinion, he's the best keeper in the league. Most people would say Bryce Samba, but in my opinion, it's Marek Rodak, and he's 23 years old. And he just makes some terrific saves. He played brilliantly well against us. And obviously, we've put him as their best player under the age of 23. So now on to the next one.
Yeah, the next one is Emile Smith-Rowe with Huddersfield. For me, he's one of their better players currently at Huddersfield. I know they've had up and downs over the course of the season, obviously getting a new manager and stuff. But yeah, obviously he's a loanee from Arsenal, only 19 years old, and for me, he's got a bright future ahead of him. And possibly, in the next few years, I could see him in the Arsenal squad, possibly starting games. So yeah, it's good for him. Obviously, a young prospect, and I think he'll do many things with Arsenal when he returns, unless Huddersfield might actually buy him. But yeah, I think he's a really, really talented player. So that's why we picked him as an under-23s player.
So now on to Hull. We've gone with the Liverpool loanee, Herbie Kane. He's probably been their best loan player. He's come in and done really well for them. And if Liverpool make the right choices, I could see him starting for Liverpool. He's in a couple of years. He's currently 21, and he's done a terrific job for Hull. And that's why we've put him as Hull's best player under 23.
Yeah, next is Ben White of Leeds. He's only 22 years old, and he's probably, I'd say, one of the best centre backs in the league. I think he's a loanee from Brighton, I believe. And yeah, he's only 22 years old. He's got a bright future ahead of him. I could possibly see him in the next few years, possibly in the England squad, possibly making his debut. And yeah, I think I could see him playing back in the Prem. I think he's probably one of the better centre backs in the Championship right now. Leeds have been a great team all year, and I think he's a key player and a key part of that. And yeah, only for 22 years old, he's got a bright future ahead of him, so that's why we picked him as the under-23s player.
Yep, so now on to Luton Town. We've gone with Isaiah Brown or Izzy Brown. I think he's currently on loan from Chelsea, I believe. Or I know he used to play for Chelsea anyway, but I think he's on loan from there. He's currently 23 years old. I believe he's an attacking midfielder, and he's just a really good player. And being around players such as James Collins in their team as well, I believe that they can, hopefully for them, try and get out of the relegation zone. But it's going to be really hard for them. But we've gone for Isaiah Brown as Luton Town's best under-23s player.
And yeah, now on to Middlesbrough. For their best under-23s player, we went for this guy called Marcus Tavernier, only 21 years old. I don't think Middlesbrough have had the best seasons, but I feel like if Marcus Tavernier stays, then I feel like he'll help the team a lot, and he'll want to help Middlesbrough possibly get back into the Premier League. Even though it is going to be quite hard for them. This season they've been quite an average team, but possibly over the next few years, if they can keep improving and if they can keep Marcus Tavernier in their team, then I think they could really push on and hopefully get to the playoffs of the Championship. But yeah, that's why I picked him as the best.
Yeah, so now on to Millwall. We've gone with Jason Malumbi, a really good player from what I've seen. He's an up-and-coming player. He's only 20 years old, and I believe that he could be a regular starter in their squad in the future. So for that reason, we've put Jason Malumbi as Millwall's best under-23s player.
Next is Matty Cash of Nottingham Forest, obviously only 22 years old, and for me, the way he's just transformed as a player is unbelievable. Obviously, from playing on the wing and then going to a full-back, that's not exactly an easy thing to do. But I think he's handled it really, really well, and he's a major part of that Nottingham Forest side, and they've really, really improved in my opinion. And yeah, Matty Cash is a very, very player that they need to keep, and a player that will improve. And he's only 22 years old as well, so he's got a bright future ahead of him. And yeah, he's going to help the team a lot out in the future, so that's why we put him as their best under-23s player.
So now on to Preston North End. We've gone for Josh Gintley, 23 years old, good player from what I've seen, fits in the team well, doesn't start all the time, but he is a very good player, and I think he could be a very good player for Preston in the future. So that's why we put Josh Gintley as Preston's best under-23 player.
Jesus
but
Christ.
now on to the next one.
So next is Eberici Eze of QPR, obviously only being 21 years old, and for me, in my opinion, I think he's the best player at QPR. I think he's a very creative player, very skillful, and in all honesty, I can see him playing in the Prem for a big team. So, and for QPR to have him, and for him only to be 21, is just unbelievable, and the way he plays is just fantastic. So, yeah, that's why I put him as their best player for an under-23.
Yeah, so now on to Reading. We've gone for Ovie Ejaria. Obviously used to play for Liverpool. I think he's still at Liverpool and he's on loan. I'm not too sure, but he's 22 years old. Very good midfielder from what I've seen. fits into the Reading squad, links up well with Lucas Shaw and George Puskas, and I believe that he could be a very, very good player in the future, whoever he plays for. But that's why we've gone for Ovie Ejaria as Reading's best under-23 player.
And now on to Sheffield Wednesday. They've got a player called Alex Hunt, who's only 20. In all honesty, I haven't really seen much of him, but I'm pretty sure he's probably a really good player, very possibly influential in a way. And I think he's a good player in his passing and his possibly shooting as well. But I honestly don't know much about him, so I can't really describe him that much. So that's why I put him as their best under-23 player.
Yeah, so now on to Stoke City. We've gone with Tyrese Campbell, only 20 years old, scored many goals at the start of the season, then got injured, then he was back again amongst the goals. Not as much as before, but still banging in the goals. And as I said, he's only 20, so he's got a bright future ahead of him. And I believe if Stoke do go up in the years to come, he could do a very good job in the Premier League too. So we've put Tyrese Campbell as Stoke's best under-23s player.
Right, now for one of our own in Joe Rodham. For me, he's just going to get better and better in my opinion. And for only being 22 years old and having 3 big Premier League clubs wanting to sign him, it's just unbelievable. It proves how good he is. If 3 top Premier League clubs actually want to get him, which was Arsenal, United, and Man City, I believe. And he's got a bright future ahead of him, not just with Swans, but with Wales as well, because he's probably would be in the starting squad, I'd say. And he'll be lucky enough for us to keep hold of him, to be honest. He's a really good player. Some people could argue if he's overrated or not, but I just think he's a really, really decent centre-back who's really improved over the last few years. And I feel like our manager, Steve Cooper, is the person to help him improve. And that's why we put him as our best under-23 player.
So now on to West Brom, and I believe there's only one winner for this. You could argue that he's one of their best players as well, not just under-23s player. You could argue he's one of their best players this season. Obviously there's the likes of Mateus Pereira and Semi Ajayi, but for best under-23s player we've gone for Grady Diangana, only 22 years of age. The things he's done this season is unbelievable. Definitely one of the best players in the league this season, and I believe he could do this at Premier League level as well. So for that reason we've gone for West Brom's best under-23s player as Grady Diangana. And now on to the final one.
And the final one is Anthony Robinson of Wigan. And he's only 22 years old, and for an up-and-coming fullback, I think he's really, really good. Likes to go up and down the line, not just defensively, but also going forward, attacking as well. And I think he's a very, very class player, and I think Wigan, they're lucky to have him, to be honest. Wigan haven't been the best side this season, I don't think, but I think if they try and keep Anthony Robinson, then I don't think they'll go down, because he's a really good defensively good player, and for only 22 he's remarkable. So this has been the video for the best under-23s club, under-23s player at every championship club. And thanks for watching.
Yeah.